Okay, welcome back to the channel where we are building a video game from scratch using Love2d and Lua. Yesterday we got the mobile touch detection working for the loot system, so now we have an inventory system that works on our mobile and our keyboard, so we can play our little mini game here on that. Now, it's cool to see you here, Coolio. I thought I remembered you had like a game dev in your name or something earlier, but now you're Coolio. I mean, you were always Coolio, so it makes sense. Yeah, today's going to be a shorter day. I don't know exactly what I'm going to be doing. I think today is the day we're going to start implementing more scenes than just our overworld. So right now we have our overworld, which is just like placeholder sprites just to kind of roughly map out the game in terms of like biomes and stuff. I'd like to do something similar but with the, I don't know what we call it, not the overworld, but like basically when we walk into a cabin like up here, we need a space on the map to load, the whole scene of sprites. And we would probably do it similarly. We'd probably do it similarly to how we're doing these sprites, which is we export a map atlas, and in our map declarations file, we're kind of declaring, hey, here's the height and the width of our sprite. Here's the height and width of how many sprites fit in one scene. And then when we export from tiled, we get a table of all of the indexes from our map sheet here. So like all of these images, this isn't one big PNG that we're exporting or anything. We're doing it old school, which is like this is the sprite atlas that we're using for every one of these. So any one sand spot is the same exact sand sprite, so it's only ever the same 16 pixels here, so we can save on file size and everything. So I think the move is we're gonna make like a new, this is called global map.lua. So maybe this will be called like alternate map, underworld map. I don't know, because yeah, I think the move is to kind of make, right now these things are indexed via a 2D map array holding 80 tile IDs. So here's 1-1, here's 2-1, 3-1, and then here's 2-1, 2-2, 2-3. So if we have a underworld map export, then we can start to design little scenes that we can then initiate a transition. Once we walk into a cabin, we can say, hey, trigger the underworld scene, or whatever we want to call it, the otherworld scene, and we can look up in the table and say, okay, since we're in scene 3-3, there's only one other scene transition available, and that's at otherworld 1-1, so that we can load into the pub or the magician's den, or whatever we call these different scenes. Because right now we've got 3. We've got, I mean, this is all, we're going to be moving all this stuff anyway, but this is like what I'm calling the pub? I don't know. I don't remember. The pub. We can call this a cabin. We can call this a cave. So the first step is going to be to get a new map, and then we can start drawing and making new sprites for the new map, so that we can actually walk into new scenes. So I think that's what we're going to be doing today. So I feel like we need to make... let's check out the map properties. Okay. Let's try to do a new map here. And it knows it's a tile size of 1616. See, we don't necessarily want this many tiles, but also I don't know how big the underworld's going to be, so maybe we just kind of start there. I'm not worried because I guess the worst part about it is if they need both a ground tile level, an above ground level, and a top level tile level, then that is a total of 9,000 tile IDs that we potentially wouldn't be using for a very long time. So we might have to change our data downloader that we made for our map to just give it a smaller map size, I guess. You know what? I'm just going to give us the same map size, and if it's way too much, then it's whatever. I can't see our map here. Let me maybe import our master tile sheet here, and then we'll try to draw just some placeholders. Yeah, let's just put, it'll just be sand. Can we do this? Huh. Okay. I guess what we could do is duplicate this master tiled sheet, and we'll just call it Otherworld, I guess. Let's see, where did we put... We saved the tiled, I guess here. Okay, master tiled. Okay, so we'll duplicate this. And we'll call it... not that. We'll call it... I want to call it Otherworld. Okay. And then... okay, so we're in Otherworld, so we could make Otherworld for now potentially just grass. And then we can just delete all of our above ground level tiles and also top level tiles. Okay, so now our Otherworld is this. Now what we could do, I guess, to maybe test what we can do, I'm gonna put this grass as Otherworld 1-1, and then kind of just like so that we can test why Why? It just like stops working at some point, and I don't know why. Why can't I draw here? What the heck is going on? What? Are we selecting something wrong? What the heck? I can't draw where I want. What is going on? Okay. We'll try this, I guess. So I want the first frame, right? First scene 1-1 to be this. And we'll just do a couple. We'll do like the first 4 so that we can test this out. So what we can do is maybe just leave us like, you know, one, 2, 3. Just so we can check we're indexing these things correctly. So we have, if this is our other world, right, we should be able to trigger a scene transition that then fades our current screen. Where did Jimmy go? Fades our current screen and then has some sort of check to be like, hey, what scene are we triggering? What scene are we transitioning to in the other world? And then we can say that this would be like 1-1. This is 1-2. This is 2-1. This is 2-2. If we can trigger different scenes to be loaded into our current scene, and then to treat our overworld or our otherworld map as if it were our normal map, then we can start to, you know, teleport into our other atlas. I guess the other way to do this is to, you know, make our global map even bigger, so that instead of a 10x10 it might be a 15x15, and then we put all the other world stuff on the outside of the global tiled map. That's another way we could do it. We would have to make sure we update our data downloader code to keep track of that. But yeah, let me think. Let's see how we're rendering the current map and see if I can maybe think of anything. So let's take a look at, we have a map declaration. We should have a map downloader. Here it is. Okay. So we have a map table, a global map table that stores all the tile IDs for every map. So we would need to do another one of these for not the global map, but for the otherworld map, basically. But where we run into trouble, yeah, part of me thinks it might be easier to just add the otherworld on the right side of our global map, because then we can keep our data downloader. We've got our fixed clamping already, so all we would have to do is then just add the logic to trigger the scene changes. Oh, yeah. I guess it depends on what our clamping logic is for our player, to decide how we're gonna change that. Yeah, let me see in our player. Let's see. Actually, I think it's in the play state. Okay, why do we have this? Okay, so here's where we, I guess that's NPC collision. I'm looking for where we kind of say that we get the new map. I thought that was in begin shifting. Yeah, well, we have, this is different. This is what it is. Okay. So if we go the route of making this second map, this second otherworld map, then we'd have to do something in the scene to tell us, hey, we're not updating the global map table, but we're updating another thing that was going to function just like the global map table. So I think it does make sense to just expand our master tiled sheet and just give us an otherworld past a certain spot. So I think that's what we'll be doing, but it is late and I am not about to start that, but I didn't want to just not program tonight. So at least we've got a game plan. And I think that makes sense. I think it makes sense for us to do that. And then we won't have to change our data downloader, and we won't have to change our collision functions. We just might have to change our player clamping logic, because I think we might be locking it only based on the max overworld map width, which instead we'd want to hard code in, okay, the max overworld width is actually 10 because we've got a 10 by 10 grid for the overworld, and then we just want to basically allow us to scene transition if we were on the other side of that 10, because that's where the other world is going to be. That's going to be any insides, any caves, any dungeons. any of that stuff. We still want to scene transition as if it's normal, but we'll have little trigger spots that say, okay, well, your current scene is no longer in otherworld territory, it's in the normal global map territory. So I think that's making sense to me. So that's what we're going to be doing moving forward. But Tuesdays, Thursdays, I won't be programming. I'll be in class. So hopefully we can get some good progress on it this month in October. By the end of October, it'd be really nice if we can walk into a cabin and do a little scene transition and load us up into a cabin, walk into a cave, have us load us into a cave, walk out back to where we were. And if we're able to bring, you know, to bring our character to other states like that, then we're in good spot to develop more complicated things in the game. So let's just say that we're I actually don't want to do, I want to get rid of this otherworld tiled because we aren't doing this route anymore. So I'll just make sure we get rid of that so we don't accidentally commit, and I'll just call it a night. It wasn't, we basically only planned, but that's okay. We're doing okay. I almost didn't program today, so at least we got a commit in. It was mainly just deleting stuff, but also planning. That's an important part. Let's say we're that's literally all we did. But we'll be back. Wednesday I'll be back, and then we'll start tackling the transitions onto the otherworld locations. So that's what's coming up on Wednesday. I'm gonna raid out here to Falanair probably. But thanks for watching. Hope you have a good night. I'll catch you on Wednesday.